Canada is out of the running to join the U.S. president's so-called Board of Peace. Our Glenn McGregor is following this story from Quebec City today. Glenn, President Trump revoked the Prime Minister's invitation on social media. I imagine this almost resolves some of the dilemmas that Carney faced joining in the first place.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Karen. I mean, really, this cabinet retreat was supposed to be focused on domestic issues, things like the cost of living, housing affordability, all ahead of the House of Commons' scheduled return from its Christmas break next week. But once again, foreign affairs have derailed that plan. Last night, Donald Trump posting a message on social media addressed directly to Mark Carney, saying he is rescinding his offer to give Canada a seat on this organization he's trying to launch that would oversee the reconstruction of Gaza and its transition to democracy. Now, Trump wrote on Truth Social last night, "Please let this letter serve to represent that the Board of Peace is withdrawing its invitation to you," meaning Mark Carney, regarding Canada's joining what will be the most prestigious board of leaders ever assembled at any time. Signing off, thank you for your attention to this matter. It's his usual sign off. So this, as you say, Karen, may actually come as a relief to the Prime Minister, because so far, most European leaders are staying away from this Board of Peace that Trump tried to promote when he was at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, earlier this week. These leaders don't want to pay the $1 billion US initiation fee that Trump is requiring. And he's also invited some dubious characters to join the board. Strongmen like Viktor Orban of Hungary and Vladimir Putin of Russia, they've all been asked to join the board. We're still waiting to see if they actually do. There are also concerns about the board's structure, which would make Trump the chairman in perpetuity, even after he's no longer serving as president. Now, it's not clear how Carney learned of this, that he'd been kicked out of the club, but Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand responded today on her way into this cabinet retreat, laying out Canada's approach to Gaza. Here's what she said.
Constantly in touch with my G7 counterparts, and we will continue to ensure that Canada does whatever possible to ensure that humanitarian aid flows and that there is a ceasefire that is maintained and that Hamas disarmed. Those are Canadian values, those are our values, and we will continue to pursue them regardless.
So, and I'm not really addressing the issue directly there, but this very public snub shows that Trump looks to be very irked about Carney's speech in Davos that's gotten so much attention around the world. There was more reaction to that speech yesterday from the U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. He's the guy who's kind of in charge of putting these tariffs in place on Canada and other countries around the world. And he suggested Trump isn't going to be happy about Carney's agreement last week to allow China to sell up to 49,000 electric vehicles into Canada each year. The deal, according to Lutnick, could affect the upcoming review of the USMCA, the CUSMA trade agreement. Now, here in Quebec City, cabinet ministers are defending that agreement on EVs, which led China to dropping its tariffs on Canadian-grown canola products. That was a big win on the agricultural side. Here's what the finance minister had to say yesterday about that.
Well, first of all, I would say my response to that would be very simple. Every G7 partners in the world have found a strategic path forward with China, with eyes wide open, and Canada is no different. China is the second largest economy in the world, is our second largest trading partner, and I can tell you, talking to my colleagues, many of them were in Davos, everyone has found a strategic path forward with China, and in this way, Canada is no different. We will always act in the best interests of Canada, and we're very open to engage with partners around the world. I can tell you, having been in the Middle East, discussing with a number of partners in Davos, people see more and more the role that Canada can play.
Now, Champagne also said this two-day meeting here in Quebec City is focused on affordability, and that has been the central theme of just about every Liberal cabinet retreat since the end of the COVID-19 pandemic. What we don't know yet is whether anything of substance comes out of these meetings here to deal with this stubborn problem of high prices. Public opinion polling shows it is still a much greater concern to most Canadians than the Prime Minister's relationship with Donald Trump. Karen.
Okay, our Glenn McGregor in Quebec City for us. We'll be checking in with Glenn throughout the day. Thanks so much.